Yo, what's up, you guys? This is Byron, and this has been brought to my attention. Do y'all remember Nichol Kessiger, Chris Watts, Fleeg, or Mistress, or whatever? This is a deferred use for commentary purposes only, and I'm going to turn off the headphones because y'all probably can't hear with the headphones. The Bluetooth headphones, even though I got some really good ones. But I'm gonna let y'all hear, and I'm not gonna talk. So yeah.
I just turned the recording. Okay. So again, this room is recorded and video and audio. We introduced ourselves in the lobby earlier, so we're just going to do that again real quick. My name is Kevin Kovac. I'm with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and we're assisting the Frederick Police Department with this case involving Chris Watts. And this is Tim Martinez, also an agent at CBI. Sir, if you just introduce yourself.
Dwayne Kessiger. I'm Nichols' father.
Dwayne, what's your birthday?
November 3rd, 1958.
And home address for you, sir?
8801 West 65th Avenue.
Let's see.
That's Arvada, 8004.
And cell phone or home phone or where?
720-982-4547.
Thank you. And Nicole, can you just introduce yourself for the recording?
Nicole Kessiger. Do you need all the other stuff too?
Yes, please.
I live at 12255 Claude Court. Unit 612. Phone number 720-656-9605.
Claude Court, is that? I think we determined it was North Glen, right? You know yours, okay?
And keep in mind, for those that forgot, or for those that haven't really paid attention to the story, Chris Watts was the guy who killed his wife and kids just to start a new life, and he wanted to run off with Nichol Kessiger and everything like that. And then he pretty much said his kids was missing and his wife was missing, but in reality he lied, and his wife and kids were dead. So yeah.
Can you speak up just a little bit so the recorder? I know you're tired and you're stressed, and we won't be here any longer than we have to be. You've already had a conversation with people before. You came here on your own free will to talk to us. We picked you up at your request and brought you here. You can get up and leave at any time. You don't have to talk to us. If there's a question you don't want to answer, don't answer it. If you don't want to talk anymore, just tell me I want to leave. And I'm kind of in the way of the door, but you're not being interrogated as a criminal suspect. We're here to understand your relationship with Chris and what you know about Chris and his family, and events relating to Chris Watts. And do you know him as Chris or Christopher? Okay. So the phone number that you reached him on, can you tell me what that number was?
I think I deleted that out of my phone too. I just cut him out of my life. It's a 910 number. You guys have it.
And we gave it to Mark yesterday.
Yeah. I probably have it, but just in case.
I don't have it.
If I recited it to you, would you know it?
Just the first three numbers.
But you know it as a 910 number?
Yes, that's what I do know. I mean, that's what
North Carolina or something.
Yeah, North Carolina. Okay. So let's just start with a timeline of your getting to know Chris, how you guys met, where you met, all those things. Let's just run. And I'm not going to ask you specific questions unless I think it's necessary. I'll let you just tell me your story. think it's a little bit easier that way. So I just want to know how you met him, where you met him, how long you guys were dating, and those kind of things initially.
Okay. I think I met him sometime in June, probably early June. It might have been May. It was just talking at work. It was pretty casual. And he didn't have a wedding ring on his finger. And every time I talked to him, he didn't tell me that he was...
He didn't have a wedding ring on his finger, so she didn't know if he was married or not. And later he told her that he was getting divorced. And then Nichol asked him, something about why is he still living with his wife if he's getting divorced. And he just said, well, we was trying to sell the house, figure out things, and everything like that. So she was under the impression that he was getting divorced, but little did she know he wouldn't get a divorce. He was still legally fully married to Sinead Watts, which is the deceased wife of Chris Watts.
In a relationship. He didn't even mention his kids right away either. And then one day he told me that he had 2 kids. I was like, that's pretty cool. And started telling me about his kids.
That sounded like a sarcastic comment.
No, I thought it was kind of cute. I was like, oh, he's a dad. It was like right around Father's Day too. So whenever that is that in June?
Well, let me correct y'all. He did tell her that he was married, but he was getting divorced, and he had 2 kids, so he wouldn't fully lying about it or nothing like that. I just wanted to correct myself. Actually, not correct y'all, but correct myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm not good with holidays.
So we had kids, and then it was Father's Day shortly after that. So that's what I do know. And I was like, I thought it was cute. And then he's telling me about him. He's pretty excited about him. And then he mentioned that he did have a significant other. And then he told me that those 2 were in the process of a separation.
Did he mention?
But they would in the process of a separation.
The children's name or his significant other's name?
I didn't know his significant other's name for a while. And then I think he told me his...
So basically, she didn't know exactly his wife's name until later,
Kids' names pretty quick, but to be honest with you, on an exact date of when that happened, I don't know.
So in May and June, first of all, where do you work?
I work at Anadarko Petroleum Corporation. I'm contracted to Anadarko Petroleum Corporation.
Okay, and you work out of an office setting where?
In Platteville, Colorado.
Okay. And Chris also works out of that location.
Sorry about the stormy, you guys. It really stormy really badly. It was raining earlier. And I'm back in the seating areas, just chilling, stuff like that.
Yes. He's in the field, but he comes into the office with his team.
So you work, what is your job responsibility?
I do health, safety, and environment.
Okay, so you work in the office and you take care of health safety for Anadarko is an oil and gas company, right?
Yes.
So you're doing health safety in the office, and Chris works in the field.
Yes.
As what kind of job does he do?
He's an operator, so I don't know all of his daily duties, but he's a field operator, so he works with the oil wells.
So he goes out and does work on those, whatever
Yes.
That work might be. But he comes into the office frequent.
In the mornings, his team meets in the mornings. They're not all in there every day. Some days, some of them are in there. Some days, other ones are in there. But in the mornings, typically from 6:15 to probably 7, somewhere around there.
And is that where you met Chris?
Yes.
Okay. So can you just take us through kind of a little bit of the early part of how he courted you or you courted him? I don't know which one happened. How you guys got to know each other.
I guess we just started talking. He actually, so part of my job is to manage the gas monitors that we have. So Anadarko requires all of their field personnel to carry gas monitor sensors for toxic gases, and it's my job to control the inventory, any issues, anything like that. And we were having some pretty serious equipment issues, and we had numerous amounts of people coming in my office one day, and he happened to be one of them. And I'd seen him before, they meet in the lunchroom, and that's where I go put my lunch in the fridge. So I'd seen him, but I didn't ever talk to him. So that day we just started talking, and then every time I saw him in the hallway after that, and it was always hit or miss, it wasn't an everyday thing. It was just when I saw him, we just started talking, and we just kind of had a lot in common and just hit it off. So we'd always have pretty good conversations, and then I don't know. One day he told me that he had kids and started talking about his kids, and then mentioned, yes, that I have a wife, but we're getting separated. Okay. And then,
When do you think that was?
When he said all that.
So specifically when he told you he was getting separated from his wife, was that within the first couple of weeks that you knew him, or was that later on? You said you met him around May or June.
Yeah, it was still in June.
Okay.
It would have been before Father's Day.
So had you guys ever gone out on any kind of
No.
date at that time? You just
No.
conversing at work?
Yeah, that's all it was. And then,
Because my dad, my grandma, my little brother has type.
Sorry about that, you guys. That commercial comes on. Let me see if I can. Either way, I can skip it. Sorry. I should have put no commercial.
One diabetes. I'm at risk for getting it too.
If you have I don't know. We started hanging out. We hung out. We went to a park. Hung out at a park.
Let's go back real quick. So why did he tell you that he was getting a divorce? Did he ask you out at that time?
No, he didn't. I think he was probably interested in me. And so he talked to me a couple times via his work phone, and I was like, no. It was still very, friendly conversation. But then when I realized, this man is interested in me, I'm interested in him, this is personal, so we got away from the Anadarko thing, because I really don't want those guys affiliated with any of this. And
so you have a work phone that specifically...
No, I have one phone that I do both on. He has two phones.
Okay, so he had your phone, the 720-656.
That's the only number that I roll with all the time.
Okay.
So he has two phones.
One of those owned by Anadarko and
Yes,
one
sir.
personal.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what his Anadarko phone number was?
It's been so long, and I'm sure I could look it up, but I tried to look it up for those guys yesterday, and I couldn't find it.
Okay. We can find it. That's okay. Just wondering if you knew it.
But at that point, we just took it to his phone because I just felt it was.
And keep in mind, this interview was done August 16th, 2018. So, yeah.
Better that way. And we just continue to talk, and then
Let me go back to the park. Where's the park?
it's down the street from my house. It's called East Lake Number 3.
Your house?
Yes.
In Northglenn?
Yes.
And that was in the June time frame.
Yeah, the beginning of July. It was right around my birthday.
And this is the first time I see this. I seen other interviews with her talking to detectives, but I never really seen this. So that's the reason why I wanted to give my commentary. This is a deferred use for commentary purposes only. And this is in the public domain. So, yeah. Alrighty.
It's sometime at the very end of June or the beginning of July.
Okay. And that's the first meeting you had outside of work?
Yeah.
Basic conversation for a first date?
We kept it pretty simple, I guess. I don't even remember everything we talked about.
Sure.
We were there for a few hours.
And keep in mind, she was not interviewed because the police thought she had something to do with it, or the police suspect her of having something to do with it. They wanted to know what her relationship was with him and how it was. And that's how usually it is when a husband has a mistress involved, with his life, and he cheated on his wife, Sinead Watts. Rest in peace, Sinead Watts. And her two little kids, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Understand my. So if I ask about conversation, what I'm looking for, was he talking about his family during any of these meetings? Those are the kind of. I understand, whatever you guys were talking about, relationship.
Even though it's been speculation saying that she had something to do with it or she knew something and she wouldn't tell it, that's just speculation. It hasn't been fully proven yet to this day, and it won't never be proven. And it kind of makes you wonder, where is Nichol Kessiger? Is she hiding? Did she change her name? Did she just poof, just disappear? What? We don't know. And it's a very interesting interview, of her. And her father is on the right, and then she's talking to a detective on the left. So, and her are right in the middle. So, yeah.
Life, your interests, those things. We don't need to know that. What I'm interested in is knowing is when he brings up his children, when he brings up his wife, when he brings up financial information, when he brings up his home, when he brings up anything that may have been, and it's been a few days, so you've had a chance to reflect on some articles that you may have read, and unfortunately, that you're in a situation where somebody has been murdered. And
I was attracted to a psychic advisor
Sorry
to
about
get
that,
clarity.
you guys.
I was like, there's no way that's real. But the things that were coming.
that information, when you look backwards in your memory with the conversations with Chris, anything that he might have said that would be relative to that, and I'm not just, even if one day he was mad and he said, I don't want to do this or do that, anything like that. If he ever made any kind of statements that you were like, whoa, that was weird, or why would he say that, or why did he mention that? Do you understand what I'm
No,
looking
I
for?
completely understand. I just feel like some of this happened so long ago that I can't tell you like the exact words of the exact conversation at the exact time and place, because it's like we had a lot of conversations. I mean, we talked every single day, so it's like I'm trying to help you guys with the stuff that's more current. I can give you guys a lot more like detail and exact times. But when you're asking me about something that happened 6 weeks ago and exactly what was said, it's like, I mean, I'm sure I can give you a general idea, but to be honest with you, like to pinpoint exact words, it's not going to happen.
I'm not looking for exact words. Just more, let's say 6 weeks ago he said something that triggered with you last night. That's what I'd be looking for. Or something 4 weeks ago. And if you don't remember where it was or the specific words, that doesn't matter. Just he said something that was off the wall, or he said this or he said that has caused you a moment to pause and you go, wow, I wonder why he said that. Now knowing what you know today. Do you understand where I'm going with that?
I completely understand. And to be honest with you, I mean, there were several discussions that we had about his current relationship and where it had gone and what it had caused. And he talked about his kids from time to time. But the thing is he was never hostile. It was never anything aggressive. Like, even when he spoke of his wife and the fact that they were separating, it was never, like, ill. It was still very kind. It was just like, this is not working, and would explain why, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary or anything that I think would scare me. And to this day, even after everything that I found out, I still look back at that and I don't see any red lights with the way that he spoke of his family.
Can you just describe his overall demeanor over the 8, 10, 12 weeks that you guys knew each other?
It wasn't that long. It was like 6 weeks that we were hanging out. Well, I guess we knew each other longer.
Okay, but you met him in the office, and just his overall persona, who was it? Was he aggressive? Was he mellow? Was he calm? Was he outspoken? Who was Chris?
I think he's an introvert. I would consider him to be like a pretty... I don't want to say he's a very reserved individual. I think he's probably more reserved around other people. I think he emphasized to me that one of the reasons that he really enjoyed talking to me is because he felt like he could get out of his shell. He said around most people, he just didn't really feel the need to talk and converse. And it wasn't just in his home life, just in general. It wasn't something where he's an introvert. And he said with me, it made him feel like he could really just start talking about things that excited him, and I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that we had things in common. So with me, I think he was a little bit more outgoing, but even then, I would still consider him to be an introvert. Not on the extreme end. If an introvert went to 1 to 10, I'd put him at a 4 or 5, so on the lighter side of introvert.
Pretty even-keeled.
Yes, really relaxed, all the time. He was never really, worked up about anything, just
mellow,
chill,
easygoing guy.
Very much.
Okay. And he was that way with you. Did he ever have any kind of, did you guys ever have arguments? I mean,
no.
Pretty short relationship, no arguments during that time.
No.
Did he ever lose his temper at any time?
Never.
You guys never had a yelling match?
No.
So you never saw him upset or mad?
No. And there was a couple times that we had some disagreements on things that as we further progressed into this story, but it was never I am very calm when I talk to people. It's extremely rational when I handle situations that there's a disagreement in, and he always was the exact same way. Always. I never stressed anything. I think one thing that actually kind of drew me to him was the fact that he was very open with communicating with me if there were any differences on how we saw things or just open-minded about things. It was actually, I personally thought it was kind of unique because usually most of the men that I've ever met are typically very closed off, and I didn't get that from him at all. But it was always kind, very kind.
So no sense that this guy had a temper or
not at
was aggressive, or he never lost his mind and yelled and said crazy stuff or anything like that. Okay. So can we just kind of go back to your relationship? You say you guys had a lot in common. What was that?
Oh, I mean, we were both really into fitness. I think that's important. It's a lifestyle. Both of us ate pretty healthy, so I think that was important as well. He's a total gearhead. He likes cars a lot, and I don't know nearly as much about them, but it's always been something that I've been pretty interested in, so we definitely talk about stuff like that. And I guess he was always willing to learn new stuff, and vice versa. I like to travel a lot, and it's not something that he's done a lot, but he seemed really interested in what I had to share with him, and vice versa. So even if it wasn't something that we originally had in common together, it was just hey, I respect what you have to say, and vice versa.
So you guys just yin and yang. You got along pretty well.
Very well.
And no time, he never gave an indication that
None.
That he was having issues.
Now with Spectrum Mobile, you get unlimited on 2 or more
Sorry about
lines for
that,
$29.99 a line. This is a huge deal.
So during your guys' dating time, did you guys spend most of the time at your place?
Always.
Okay, always at your place.
Or we'd go out, but I told Mark yesterday, he asked me if I went over there, and I told him about one time that I went over to that house. I've been to that house twice, but it was very, very brief, and it was not an extended stay. I did not feel comfortable there, or I just didn't want to be there. It's not my life. That is somebody else's life and somebody else's existence, and I respect that. That's their space. And so I used to tell him, well, come to my house because this is our space. This is my space.
Let's try to
so for me, out of respect,
forward.
just for whatever situation, you can lie to me about this. What else are you lying to me about? And it made me realize that maybe his wife was in danger at that point, and it was day 2 too, and she still wasn't home.
What did that cause you to do with your phone, though?
Oh, what? When I deleted those? I was just kind of grossed out by him, to be honest with you. I was just like, I don't know what's going on right now, but you just lied to me, and I don't want to see this come over my phone anymore. So I removed it.
So you already said, but you removed text messages?
I deleted all of his stuff because he lied to me. I mean, that's what it was. It was the hurt that made me delete it, and then it was the lie that made me start questioning everything else he'd been telling me for the last few days.
And that's when you decided to come forward?
Yes.
Okay. So just for context,
yes.
When people delete stuff off phones, usually we go,
No. It wasn't malicious at all. It wasn't malicious at all. He lied to me. It just hurt. Like, I had never felt like he'd ever lied to me before. And it was a big lie. I mean, right. Telling somebody that you're in the midst of a divorce and then you have a wife that has a 15-week-old baby on the way is a huge...
Yeah. At the time, before Chris Watts murdered his kids and his wife, Shadan Watts, his wife was already pregnant and everything by his baby. And according to others, he didn't really like the fact. Some people say that he wasn't happy about it. Some people say he was. I don't know. I'm just going based upon what others have said about it, throughout the years. So let's continue.
Huge thing, and I was very taken back, and it was hurt. And so at that point, I deleted it. I had a few more quick things.
She said that she deleted all his messages because she was hurt and everything like that. And then when he lied to her, it made her want to question, like, what's going on? Like, what's this? What's that? So, and some people would say, like, why would she delete it if she's hurt? Because would she save it for evidence for later? Or I don't know why she would delete it. I have no idea. But if it was me, I would have never deleted it. I would have kept it and saved it somewhere, just in case. Yeah.
To say to him, and then I just got rid of him. That's literally what I did. I just cut him out of my life. It would have honestly been like a...
And if she would never deleted it, it would have been a lot more that we could have known about her conversation with Chris Watts. And we would have known exactly what they was talking about, and we would have had timestamps of the relationship and everything like that, because if you erase evidence and it's no way to be restored, then we don't know exactly the full story, what really happened. And she says that he never got a temper, he never, yelled or nothing like that. I kind of don't believe that. I think she probably just don't want to say a whole lot at the time because, y'all already know.
Bad breakup kind of thing. Like, if none of this other stuff would have happened, that's what it would have been. That would have been the end of it.
Because if somebody can murder their wife and kids and then cheat on their wife who they murdered, then obviously Nichol Kessiger and Chris Watts had some type of arguments about Shadan and everything like that. I'm sure he probably yelled at her or something like that. She probably just don't want to say. Of course, he probably didn't do it in front of people or out there where people can hear it or something like that. But I'm sure they had some type of verbal argument, some verbal conversation, you know, competition. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah,
The information was not destroyed because there was anything in there that
because
would.
there's no way a person is gonna be that calm who murdered their wife and kids. There's no way. They say that a lot of quiet people you gotta watch out for, but he wasn't quiet. He probably was arguing with her. He probably was fussing. He probably was yelling at her, everything like that. I'm sure they had competition. They had arguments. There's no way they didn't have the arguments. She need to cut that BS out, you know. But I do believe that she didn't have nothing to do with it. 100%. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that Nicole Kessiger had something to do with Chris Watts murdering Shanae Watts and his 3 kids, actually? Earlier I said 2, but he had another one, a fetus, inside, because the wife was pregnant and stuff. And he was never going through a divorce or nothing like that. He was still married. And Shanae was finna have this baby, finna have this 3rd child. So, yeah.
Be harmful to you or potentially to Chris at this point, but harmful to you in particular. That's not what you did. You did it out of, excuse my language, this guy's an asshole, so I'm getting rid of him, and I'm getting this stuff off my phone.
That was like me kicking him out of my life. Okay. And then, like I said, and then realizing that he lied, that was when I was like, okay, maybe his family is in danger, and they're not coming back, and they're not staying with a friend.
Yeah, when did I go over there? Tuesday morning?
Wednesday morning. I called you Wednesday morning.
That's when we started discussing. You guys need to get everything that it just...
You can understand the importance of...
Oh, no question. We were...
Like I said, people lie, phone records don't, and they really help specifically establish dates and times. I think we have a very good grip on that in this case already, but there may be a time when we go, we need to know something else, and then we would have it. We don't want to lose it, and that's really what it is for us. Is if we lose information that later on we go, man, I wish we would have got that, and we may never even use these. We may never even look at them, but if we have it now, then we don't worry about losing it. So I appreciate you being cooperative and giving it to us. Yeah. So the first thing I wrote was text messages between Chris Watts and attachments. Okay, so because we're talking about the photographs, unfortunately, that cause you much disdain. And then I am going to put phone log for calls between yourself and Chris Watts. Your phone number is
720-656-9605.
The Max Series mobile LED display trailers by Insane Impact, the nation's leading lineup of LED display trailers.
This right now is located we're at the 3rd. Something I didn't ask you about the house because you've been there twice, and it just made me remember. Do you remember how you guys accessed the house?
That's a good question. So once through the garage, and I think once through the front door. I think the first time was through the front door, and I think the second time was through the garage.
Was there anything unique about either of the doors when you went into the house that might not be typical of another house?
Like a unique door?
Not the door itself.
On their door.
Okay, there's a camera on the which door?
It's on the front door, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I think so. I don't know.
Did he use a key to access the house?
No. He did not. The first time I went over there, he just let me in. And then the second time, did we go through the garage? I don't remember. I've been through his garage before. I went through his front door once, though, because I remember he had just cleaned, it was the first time I went through his front door, because he had just cleaned his carpets, and he had moved all the furniture out of the way, and the furniture was kind of in the way of the door. And he's like, the door doesn't open all the way right now. I'll move all the furniture back from the carpet dress. So I do remember that, just kind of offhandedly. And the second time, I want to say we went through his garage, because I remember his garage. I remember, yeah.
So he was at the house when you went there. You were never there by yourself?
He was at... Yeah,
or
no.
he took you there?
The first time, he was already there,
okay.
And I met up with him. And the second time, we went there together.
So, the front door, I asked if he had used a key.
He let me in.
Okay. So, there's a, those keypads where you can enter an access code. Do you remember seeing that on his door?
Like, I want to say vaguely, but to be honest with you, I don't remember. Like, he let me in that day. So
he never gave you the code to access his home?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
You talked about a security system. There was a camera on the front door. Was that just like what a Ring doorbell is that goes to your phone?
I don't even know what it looked like. I only know that it existed either because A, I wasn't paying attention the first time I was over there, but B, because of all the stuff that's going on right now. That's the only reason I know it
Did you remember seeing any cameras anywhere in the house?
No.
Okay. Did he ever tell you about the alarm system or give you an access code to the alarm system?
No. I wouldn't have asked for that. I wouldn't have wanted that anyways.
Sorry to regress to that.
No, you're okay.
Go back to the phone call, or where you noticed the television in the background of the phone call.
Yeah. So I didn't know what room he was in, but I was just like, I just thought it was weird because he's always like, before I go to bed and I lay down, he's always like kind of trying to do the same thing. We just talk. It's like a really chill thing till one of us is about to pass out, and then that's like the end of it. But it was strange because I was like, the TV's on. I remember I was thinking, I was like, maybe he's waiting up for her, and then I was like, maybe not. I didn't know. It wasn't something that like alerted me. It was just different from his standard operating procedure because whether his wife is home or she's gone, he's always got kind of like the standard op when he calls me. So that's why it was kind of like unique because it doesn't really fluctuate when she's there and when she's not there. He's pretty like free reign with what he does.
So anything important that you recall during that conversation about the children, about his wife, about what he was doing the next day, what he had planned, anything like that? Did he tell you any of that information?
I remember he told me he had to go to the field and not to the office on Monday morning.
Okay. Did he specifically say where he needed to go on Monday morning?
No, I don't ask him for those sites. There's like, Anadarko's got like thousands of sites. If he were to tell me, I wouldn't even
They're just like random numbers and stuff, right?
Well, he told me, he said, I gotta go to a site. I gotta go, check out like a valve or something where they think that they had a release. Something like that.
Did he mention the town or anywhere?
No. He just told me that that's what he had to go do. He's like, he was like, I won't see you in the office in the morning. Because I see him, but I don't actually like talk to him. Like I will go in the cafeteria, I will put my lunch in the fridge, and him and his whole team are sitting in there, and I don't talk to any of them. I just walk out. But anyways, yeah, he's like, so I won't see you, I'm going to the field, which it's not an uncommon thing for the ops guys to like just go straight to the field. Like it happens. Like typically they go to the office, I would say like 3 or 4 days a week, but there are days where him and his other team members are not there, or like I'll get in there and some days the cafeteria's packed and they're all there. And other days I get in there and there's only like 3 or 4 of them.
So it didn't cause you any concern that he's
No.
like, I'm going to the field on Monday, I won't see you. That wasn't...
No.
That's happened before.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't something, and it's not just him, it's like that whole team. Like, you can just tell when they've got like a lot going on, because I'll walk in and there'll be like 2 of them, as opposed to like 6 or 7.
Do you know what he did Sunday during the day?
I don't even know what I did on Sunday during the day. I am so tired. Let me just think about this. Daniel came over Friday. I hung out with him Saturday. And then Sunday,
When did Jim come in?
Monday.
Early payday, fee-free overdrafts, no monthly fee.
Okay, you guys, I'm about to end this. Y'all can see the whole video. Just go to the channel, and y'all can see the whole video and everything. And I'm going to end this.
Chime, the number one most
just a
loved banking
moment.
app.
Top YouTubers are making so much money. But did you know that growing a community and sharing your content on YouTube means that...
Hold on, just give me a minute, guys.
What did I do on Sunday? I am like drawing a blank. I'm really tired. I don't know. Can I get back to you on that?
Did you guys have any conversations on Saturday night during your meal? What he might be doing on Sunday?
I'm sure we did. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank because I haven't slept.
If I say that he may have done something with his children, would that refresh
yes.
your memory?
He went to a birthday party.
Okay. Did you know whose house he was going to?
Nope. But I know that they had a water balloon fight.
Okay. He had one, or his children?
His children did.
Okay.
He said he used to get really into it. He said he got like really interactive with his kids. He's like, some of the adults don't really spend a lot of time playing with the kids, but I
You went
always
to
do.
the museum on what day? Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
That's right. So that's what I was like, was I hanging out with you? God.
Very memorable event, huh?
Me and him and my stepmother and my sister went to the museum, and that's right, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, and they went to brunch prior to that, and I skipped brunch, and I went to the gym.
You shouldn't have. That was good.
I had to do core day. That was the last time I worked out, actually.
That's what we did Sunday, okay.
Yeah, so core day, and then we went to the museum, and then after he lied to me, I was just kind of like, I was done. And I was trying to find a way to, like, get away from the situation without alarming him or panicking him. So I told him, like, everything is all good. I'm still here for you. And I feel bad because, like, I lied to him. But, I mean, I, like, just try to keep him calm. And then I told him, like, contact me once they find your family. And then we'll talk.
That was Tuesday?
That was Tuesday.
Okay.
And he sent me a text back saying something along the lines of, like, what did he say? Something like, please just think of, and, like, I kept telling him I was scared. I was really freaking scared. In fact, that's another thing I'm missing. I'm so tired. Monday night, like, I called him back in the middle of the night because I could not sleep. I could not sleep at all. And I remember when I called him, he sounded like he was sleeping. And I was like, how the hell can you sleep right now? I think that's exactly what I said to him. And he was just like, I'm just kind of dozing off and on the couch. And I just remember thinking, like, I haven't shut my eyes yet. And this is not even my family. And so that happened on Monday night. So then I was going somewhere with that had to do with Tuesday. I forgot what it was. I'm so sorry.
Take a breath and relax. We're almost to Wednesday, and then we're out of here.
Yeah, so then, once he lied to me, I just really trying to, like, push him away, and he was like, just don't forget, like, the person that you knew me to be when you were with me. So I think it might have been bigger than he let on, because he never told me about his bankruptcy. You know, he just told me about his current financials, and he didn't even get that in depth, but I'm assuming they're trash. And so, yeah, I think her spending all that money and not listening to him, and him not standing up for himself in a calm and, you know...
Just elevate.
Yeah.
Last hard question regarding this.
Go ahead.
And then I have just two cursory questions regarding something else. And I think maybe Tim has a few questions for you. But I think what you say about the finances directly at his wife. Do you think that goes to the children as well? Because she took, did she treat them like that, like they were gold and they got everything as well that you know of? Or do you think there's a separate issue for why he may have done what he did to his children other than financial?
That part I don't have an answer for. I can't fucking explain that. I don't even think there is an answer. I don't even think there's any sort of like computing up here that could possibly give a rational explanation for why that would happen.
Right, but Chris does.
Yeah, I don't think he's in any rush to tell the media anything. I mean, maybe.
Is there mitigators that in his mind, or again, you got a phone call from the public defender's office, whether you talk to them or not, that's your business. You didn't?
I did not.
Oh, I thought you did.
I did not. I didn't know what to do. Mark said to ask you what to do.
Okay, so did they reach out to you?
Yep.
Your decision. You don't have to talk to them, or you can. I won't say either way. You have to make that decision for yourself.
I don't really know what to do. I feel like if I talk to them, they're either going to try to like find some holes in my story or try to get me to like be Chris's only ally, and I don't really feel like dealing with either one of those.
Then I think you've made up your mind.
Yeah,
So
I don't want
maybe
to.
confide in your father.
No, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. I can't really give you legal advice. They have every reason to want to talk to you. Just like if they got to you before I did, I would want to talk to you too. You understand what I mean? And I won't hamper what their investigation is or anything. They want information too, certainly. They have a client that they're trying to protect and make sure that everything that we're looking at is